Hello everyone. So now let us start with our new chapter, that is reproductive health biology class 12th, and this is going to be a very fast revision coming to the very first full form, that is WHO's World Health Organization. Now according to WHO, reproductive health means total well-being of social, emotional, behavioral and mental. And coming next will be our family planning programs. So this was initiated in India at 1951 year, and India was amongst the first countries in the world who initiated the action plans and program at the national level to attain a total reproductive health as a social goal. Okay, coming to the next full form of this particular chapter, we came across RCH, that is reproductive and child health care programs. So under this, what all are done is that awareness about sex organs and knowledge of adolescence and changes related. Okay, then pregnancy, breastfeeding, then care of pregnant women and postnatal care, STIs. Okay, that is sexually transmitted infections, AIDS, then menstruation, MTPs, medical termination of pregnancy, then contraceptives. These all are the things which were the main goal to be aware for the people to get aware of. Okay, so coming next according to NCERT will be that medical assistance and care to the people in reproduction related problems like pregnancy, delivery, STDs, abortion, contraception, menstrual problem, infertility. These all are the one which are taken care under successful implementation of these action plans. Okay, so there is one more thing, that is the ban, stationary ban on amniocentesis. So what is amniocentesis? Amniocentesis is analyzing the fetal cells and dissolved substances that is taken from the amniotic fluid of the developing fetus. Okay, so this test is actually performed for Down syndrome, hemophilia, sickle cell anemia, like these all genetic disorders, to confirm if the child is having these or not, right? So but this was also being used for sex determination, and therefore it is banned now. So it is legally banned because of the menace of female feticide. Okay, coming next will be our Saheli, that is a new oral contraceptive pill for females that was developed by the scientist at CDRI, that is Central Drug Research Institute in Lucknow, India. Okay, so Saheli, we will be going to learn more about it, but this is the introduction. Okay, coming next will be our population stability and birth control. See, when if we talk about the world in 1900s, right, so the entire population of world was about 2 billion, while in 2000, after a decade, the population grows to 6 billion, and according to 2011 census, 7.2 billion was the population of world, right? While of India, before independence it was around 350 million, and around 2000 year, okay, 2000 year, the population was 1 billion, and according to the census of 2011, 1.28 billion people are living in only and only in India. Okay, so this is the data, but should be kept in mind. Okay, so world 1900 2 billion, and 2000 year 6 billion, and according to 2011 7.2 billion. India during independence 350 million, 2000 1 billion, and now, like according to 2011 1.28 billion. Okay, our growth rate is less than 2%. So if in case this growth rate is increased, or increased very rapidly, so that will lead to absolute scarcity of the basic requirements like food, shelter and clothing. Simple as that. Why is the growth rate of India according to 2011 census was less than 2%? There are three main reasons behind it. The first one is the rapid decline in the death rate. Then comes our maternal mortality rate and infant mortality rate decreasing. And the third one is increase in the number of reproducible people. So what are these? So see, the third point is very clear, obvious by the terms only. So increase in the number of reproducible people means the age group of 15 to 60 is increased, right? Then coming to deaths are means slow, okay, we can say in that way. So there is a decline in death rate. Coming next are two important full forms and two important terms also, that is maternal mortality rate, MMR, and infant mortality rate, IMR. Okay, so maternal mortality rate, that is the death of mother, okay, and infant mortality rate, that is the death of the infants, that is babies under the age of 1 year. Okay, so this also declines, so therefore the growth rate was less than 2%. Okay, so now coming next is the most important step to overcome this problem is to motivate families to use like various contraceptive method. Okay, so how come we can do that was by advertisements in media, by posters, bills, and a slogan was also taken, that was hum do hamare do, right? We too are too, like that. And there was a marriageable age set for females, that is 18 year, and males, that is 21. So now when we talk about an ideal contraceptive, so what all are the requirements for being an ideal contraceptive? So it should be user friendly, it should be easily available, it should be effective and reversible with no or least side effect. Okay, then coming next will be there should be no way interference with the sexual drives and desires or the sexual act of the user. Okay, so there are wide range of contraceptive method that are presently available. Okay, these can be broadly grouped into like natural and traditional, or barrier, or IUDs, intrauterine devices, or oral contraceptives, injectables, implants, and surgical methods. Okay, so now we will be going to take them one by one. So if we come to the natural or traditional method, so that is very inefficient if this should be the mark up point of this particular methods. Okay, so very first is that by natural ways only, they like the couple will be avoiding the chances of meeting of ovum and sperm. Okay, so the very first method comes here is periodic abstinence. Under periodic abstinence is like it is a method in which the couples avoid or abstain from coitus from the day of 10 to 17 of the menstrual cycle, right? So 10 to 17th day of the menstrual cycle are the one where ovulation could be expected, right? So by reducing or avoiding the chance of meeting ovum and sperm, so fertilization can be stopped, right? Then coming next is our withdrawal or coitus interruptus. This is a method in which the male partner withdraws his penis from the vagina just before ejaculation, so to avoid insemination. Coming next is the lactational amenorrhea. So what is lactational amenorrhea? This is actually the absence of menstruation. Yes, the absence of menstruation, and what it is actually that the ovulation and therefore the cycle do not take place during the period of intense lactation following the parturition of the baby. Therefore, the chances of conception are almost nil. But the point to be noted as is that this method is reported to be effective only up to a maximum period of 6 months after the parturition, after the delivery. Okay, so altogether the natural methods are not that efficient. Okay, so there are chances of failure. methods. So coming to barrier methods, in this methods ovum and sperm are prevented from physically mating with the help of some barriers, and this type of barriers are present and available for both the males and females. Okay, so condom being the very like common example of the barrier methods. So these are thin rubber or latex sheet that covers the penis in males and vagina and cervix in females, so that just before the coitus the ejaculated semen would not enter in the female reproductive tract. And Nirodh, being a very popular brand of condom for male, is an example. Okay, so use of condom is highly increased because it not only prevent the meeting and like conception, but also protect the users from STIs and diseases like AIDS. Both the male and female condoms are disposable and are self-inserted, and thereby privacy is given to the user to use them. Coming to next barrier, so there will be cervical caps, vaults, diaphragms. These all are also barrier made up of rubber, and they are inserted into the female reproductive tract only, so that to cover the cervix during coitus. Though these will be helping to block the entry of sperm from the cervix and are reusable, but the point cannot be ignored that spermicidal creams, jellies and foams are also used along with the barriers, so that the contraceptive efficiency could increase. Coming to another popular and effective method is IUDs. Use of IUDs, that is intrauterine devices, has also been increased in recent years, and these are the devices inserted by doctors or some expert nurses in the vagina of the female. And presently non-medicated IUDs are also present. An example will go to Leap's loop, while copper releasing IUDs are also present like CUT, CU7 and multiload 375, and the hormone releasing IUDs, that is progesterone and LNG20, are also. So what actually IUDs do is that they increase the phagocytosis of sperms within the uterus. And coming to copper ions, like copper ion IUDs, so they will be suppressing the sperm motility and the fertilizing capacity of sperm, while in the case of hormone releasing IUDs, which were like example progesterone and LNG20, they will make the uterus of the female unsuitable for implantation and the cervix hostile to the sperm. Okay, so IUDs are ideal contraceptive for female to delay pregnancy. Okay, so it is highly and widely accepted method. Repeating it once again is that IUD is intrauterine devices inserted in the vagina of the female by doctors or expert nurses. Simple like non-medicated IUDs, example will be Leap's loop. Copper releasing IUDs will be CUT, CU7, multiload 375, and hormone releasing IUD will be LNG20, progesterone. Okay, so hormones will be making the uterus unsuitable for implantation and cervix hostile for the sperm to enter, while in the case of copper ions they will be suppressing the sperm motility and the fertilizing capacity of sperm, will increase the phagocytosis of sperm. Coming next to the oral contraceptive methods, those are used by females only, and they are used in the form of tablets, and so they are known as pills. So these pills can be like combined oral contraceptive that will be containing estrogen and progesterone both, while only can contain progesterone and hence called progesterone oral pills. Okay, so how come these are taken is that they are taken daily for a period of 21 days, right, starting from the 5th day of the menstrual cycle, and there will be a gap of 7 days during the menstruation occur, and the same pattern will go on. So what actually these pills containing estrogen or progesterone does, they used to inhibit ovulation, right, they used to inhibit implantation, as well as they will be altering the quality of cervical mucus, so that to retard or prevent the entry of sperms. Okay, so these are very effective with lesser side effect and easy to be used. Okay, and these are highly accepted by the females also. And Saheli being a new oral contraceptive for female that is non-steroidal. Okay, so that is once a week pill. It has fewer side effects and higher contraceptive value. Coming next to the implants and injections, so progesterone alone or in the combination with estrogen can be used by females as injection also and as implants under their skin also, right? So the mode of action is very similar to that of the pills. Their effective period are much longer. Okay, so if we have to control our pregnancy within the 72 hours of coitus, so this method of implants or injections must be the favorable one. Okay, so and also the possible pregnancies due to rape or casual unprotected intercourses. Okay, so coming next will be our surgical methods that are also known as sterilization. This is actually a terminal method that is advised to a male or a female partner to prevent any more pregnancy in future. So in the case of males it is known as vasectomy, and while in the case of female it is known as tuberculotomy. In vasectomy, a small part of vas deferens is removed or tied up through a small incision on the scrotum, while in tuberculotomy a small part of fallopian tube is removed or tied up through a small incision in the abdomen or through the vagina. So although this is highly effective, but its reversibility is poor. Okay, so we are here at the end of all the methods for preventing pregnancy. The very first were the natural methods: periodic abstinence, withdrawal interrupters, and lactational amenorrhea, then condoms, diaphragms, cervical caps, vaults, IUDs, different type of IUDs, hormonal, then copper and non-medicated. Then our next were pills, then implants and injection, and at last were our sterilization. There is no doubt that these all contraceptive methods are very helpful in controlling the growing population, but the ill effects of the using these should also be known, that can be nausea, abdominal pain, breakthrough bleeding, then irregular menstrual bleeding or breast cancer, or though not very significantly, but they shouldn't be ignored. Two important points that should be noted here are also that the procedure of amniocentesis is taken place between 16th to 22nd week of the pregnancy. While the next point will be the definition of a term, that is ectopic pregnancy. It is a type of pregnancy in which the fertilized egg will get implanted outside the uterus. Hence, that pregnancy can also be known as the false pregnancy. With this, we are done with the half of the chapter, and for the next half, stay tuned for the next video.
Goodbye.